Hi, guys. Welcome to Renew with Jew. I am Judy, and this is my faith and fitness journey where I use fitness to increase my faith. So, today I'm going to be sharing a testimony about, how do I say this? I really didn't want to do this video, y'all. Basically, my struggle, I went through an intense struggle in 2022. Not 2022. In 2020, during the pandemic. I struggled with the idea of Jesus and who he was. All of that. All of it. And I say the idea of Jesus because at that moment in time, that's what it was. So that's why I worded it as such. So let's get into it, right? Okay, so during the pandemic, I've learned about a lot of things in this world that was just not right. And I was like, wait a minute. I thought this was true. This was really a lie the whole time. I thought this was a lie. This was actually true this whole time. Sorry. I don't know what that was outside. Some animal squealing or something. I don't know if y'all heard that. But yeah, so there was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of confusion because it was like everything was just so mumbled and jumbled. I'm like, what is true? What is fake? And I had discovered, well, I would see these videos online every so often throughout my years of life, and I would kind of ignore them because I'm like, oh, they're just talking BS. But from the stuff that I was learning, with all of the manipulation in this world, I decided to do my own research. Let me slow down. Can you tell I'm a little nervous? So when I did my research about Jesus, the Son of God of the Bible, right? The Messiah. I discovered that the image that was given to us, that is not him. All my life, I thought that was actually Jesus, the Son of God, the Son of the Most High God, Yahuwah. Like, that's who I thought that was. From the hair, the skin, the eyes, the mouth, the nose, to the outfit. I took on the entire image. That's who I thought. So if I would have saw somebody walking down the street who had that, who looked similar, I'd be like, oh, he looks like Jesus. But who it really is Caesar Borgia, however you pronounce his last name. I'm not going into that whole story. I did the research for myself. I encourage you to do your own research. This is not a video for me to be telling you what to dig and what to learn. I'm just sharing my testimony. So I ain't bringing none of the research with me. I'm just sharing my testimony. And I was like, okay, so God, if this is not your son, who this man, and why they tell me this was him? That's a lie. So I was like, does he really exist? Do you really have a son? Like, the struggle was real, y'all. The struggle was real. It was terrifying, actually. It was very terrifying. The fact that there was someone I believed in all my life, and to know that it was twisted and distorted. And I would pray every day. I'm like, Lord, if you have a son, reveal him to me. Do you really have a son? Do you not have a son? I know you're real, but I don't know if he's real. it was a lot. Now at that time, I was still a point in my life where everything was still unraveling. And I was just in the beginning stages of asking questions. So was I in my word? No, because I did the typical thing. You go to church. I was raised in church. So you go to church, you listen to the pastor preach. You don't fact check anything. You don't go back to look at anything you learned or whatever. I took everything for face value, and I take full responsibility for that, but that's how I was raised, to just take things that I did what I saw. I did what I saw. But now I know differently. I think for myself. I'm going to ask questions, and I'm not going to follow blindly. So after doing that research, I stumbled across, I don't even know how. I think I just, started searching. And I came across this guy's channel, and he would talk about Jesus, but he would talk about like the Bible in a deeper way, in a way that other people weren't speaking of. But that space was more so, how do I explain it? It was kind of new agey, but I don't know if new age is actually the term. But actually, it could have been still new age, to be honest with you, because it was like the people that they're like, oh, we're starseeds, we're not from this planet, and they would call the creator of the heavens and earth, they would call God source. So I was in those spaces. Now, there's a lot of things you see in those spaces, but I knew that even in that, the reason why I was in those spaces is because I was trying to seek the truth. And I'm not saying that other people out here wasn't speaking truth. I just didn't have access to them. I didn't know where they were. So that's why, hence, I was seeking to try to learn more. And I learned a lot about the new age, not from that particular platform, but from other platforms that was connected to it or similar. And, the algorithm. When you start looking at certain stuff, your algorithm starts to change. So it actually brings different types of pages to you. So I started to see different things and learn about different things. It's interesting because I did open myself up to the enemy because I was in those spaces and I was engaging with those individuals and I was taking on some of those beliefs. But it's so funny because I always knew, like for me, for example, right, I love essential oils, and I made sure that I learned not to dabble, because you can cross a line even with essential oils and anything, honestly, that we're doing. We can dabble a line and fall into witchcraft and idolatry. So I knew not to touch the crystals. I knew not to be mixing potions and talking about some money oil and this and that and potions. And I was just like, first of all, that just sounds suspect. I knew that. But I was learning so much about the world and the agenda of what's really happening. And if you don't get what I mean and you don't understand, because the point of the video is not about those things, then you might as well just stop watching, because you're not going to know what I'm talking about. Okay? There's a lot of things happening in this world that's blatant lies. Blatant lies. You're being lied to. I don't know what to tell you. It's the truth. And if you want to deny it and continue to believe a lie because you're afraid or you're scared, that's your choice. And you have that choice. It's free will. Check out my video on free will, by the way. So, went down a rabbit hole. Man, when I tell you I was down that rabbit hole, and I wasn't the only one down that rabbit hole. I actually had a few friends that was down that rabbit hole with me. Guess who I found at the bottom of the rabbit hole? Jesus. Now, I do prefer to call him Yahushua HaMashiach. I do prefer to use Hebrew names, but I'm going to still say Jesus just for the context of my testimony. And that's where I was at the point of my life again. Just so you don't get confused when I go back and forth between the name. And I was like, okay, you do have a son. He is real. There is a Messiah. There is somebody who died on the cross for my sins, who loves me very much, who walks in, who points us back to the Father, about his Father's business. And I was like, okay, so what now? What now? I'm like, how do I get this image out of my head? Because that's not him. And it bothered me a lot that all my life I really thought that was him. And don't get me wrong, because there's so many people that's going to watch this and be like, oh, well, it don't matter, you know, what color he is, and me. What color he is don't matter. It don't. It don't matter what color he is. But who they got depicted as Jesus, that ain't him. And that's a lie. So, I got an example, okay? I got a $20 bill here. So, we got Jackson, right? This is here. Let's see, I'll get distracted. Here's a picture of Jackson. What if I said, hey guys, what if I said this is Jesus? What would you tell me? But I'm like, but it is though. This is him. And you're like, I don't look like that. Yes, he does. This is him. Or let me use another example. Let me use a different example. Okay, so imagine somebody was like, "Oh, hey, I saw a picture of your dad. He's on a $20 bill." And you're like, "What? My dad ain't on a $20 bill." Yes, he is. Like, this is your father, right? This is your dad. Ain't his name Jackson? Yes, my dad's name is Jackson, but that ain't him. What you mean? But that is. Let's say Jackson. That's your dad. That is your father. No, that's not. My father don't look like this. He don't look like this. This is not him. This is a total different picture. You know why they give you a picture, y'all? So it can be engraved in your mind. That's a whole nother different video. But that's not him. So that's what really, I would say, how long did it take? It took a good amount of months. It was a few months. It was a few months. And what Abba had showed me, what Abba had showed me was when I asked him, like, how do I get this image out of my mind? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not him. I don't want to fall into idolatry or anything. Like, that's a lie. Like, for me to say that's him, that's worshiping a false god. Like, I can't do that. Like, what's going on? And he showed me, read your word. Read your word. And I realized there's the Jesus of the world and the Jesus of the Bible. The Jesus of the world has that image, and the description doesn't even match in the Bible. And even if it didn't, like, we don't even know. Like, you don't know. So if I don't know what someone looks like, I'm not going to just make up an image. Because the thing is, well, the truth is, they didn't just make up an image. It was actually, it was Caesar Borgia, whatever. Borgia, how do you say his freaking name? So it's like, you're taking the face of someone else and giving them that name. So basically, they took the face of Caesar Borgia or Borgia, and named them Jesus for the entire world to believe. And they fell for it. And I fell for it. But now I know. And I just read the word to really know who the Messiah truly is. And now I see why the word says don't, what is the verse? It talks about you shouldn't have graven images. But I see why now. I see why. Because we tend to hold on to those things. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to share that because I don't think people realize that in this walk, I struggled. I had to question everything I've ever known. And I'm still questioning everything that I ever known. And I will continue to question everything that I ever known. And I think sometimes people will hear these hard truths and they don't want to dive to look into if it could be true or if it could be false because it's scary, and they would have to admit that they believed the lie. I get it. It's hard, right? But our Father is he's not going to condemn you because you believed a lie. Yeah, it was foolish that you believed a lie, including me. But I ain't believing that foolishness no more. And I'm not going to pretend to walk in that either. I'm not doing it. It's weird. People want to knock the Catholics for having a statue. And they got a whole image. What's the difference? What's the difference? But I don't know what else I don't know what else I was about to say. But yeah, okay. He's not going to condemn you. You just have to repent and ask for forgiveness and ask him to show you, what does he want you to know about the situation? How can you move differently? What will help you get that image out of your head? I was actually talking to a friend about this, and she said that the Holy Spirit revealed to her to think of a light. And I'm like, well, that makes sense because that's actually biblical. Like, literally, like, you know what I mean? Like, it should lead back to Bible. And I'm like, that would make sense. I think about Saul before before name changed to Paul. He was blinded by a bright light, so yeah, so I just wanted to share that part of my testimony, because it plays a huge role in my faith, because I had to learn for myself. And now, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody says about the Messiah. I know that he's real. So, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, you can put them down in the comments. Like the video, share it with a friend, and if you're not following me, please follow. I'm trying to think. Oh, so really quick, I'm doing a series. It's called building your foundation, and it's basically understanding the foundation of your health. That's the whole point, right? Because if you guys don't know, I'm actually a wellness advocate, and I have a business, Entice and Renew. And I'm rebranding. I'm in the midst of it. And for those of you who follow me and know me and support me, thank you for your patience. I know I've been saying it a lot, but seriously, because it's just been a lot of transition and changes in my life, personally and business-wise. And yeah, so a lot of things are shifting. But yeah, but I'm doing this series and I'm so excited about it. And it's called Are You a Wise or Foolish Builder? And it's referring to the foundation of our health. So stay tuned for that. I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for that. But yeah, so y'all be blessed and y'all have a great day. And I will talk to y'all next time.